The 2024 Paris Olympics opened with controversy. Many Christians felt mocked by what appeared to be a drag queen reenactment of Leonardo da Vinci's sacred Last Supper painting during the opening scenes. However, defenders of the Olympic ceremony argue that it represents Dionysus and an Olympic feast. This topic has become polarizing, with people emotionally investing in whichever side aligns with their views. Our goal is to delve into this subject, providing education and context, trusting that our audience is mature enough to form their own conclusions without being told what to think. In context, there are two different paintings with similar symbolism that the Olympic opening ceremony is claimed to have replicated. As mentioned, one is Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, dating back to 1498 AD, and the other is the Feast of the Gods, which dates back to 1640 AD. For those who can apply some common sense to this topic, it's easy to see that there are actual similarities. However, if we're honest, the Last Supper painting predates the Feast of the Gods. One might argue that the concept of Christianity only goes back to the 1st century AD, while the Greek gods predates Christianity to the 2nd century BCE. Yet both religions and philosophies draw upon much older belief systems, and frankly, that's an endless debate we don't wish to get lost in. If you are familiar with our content, we've shown how many of these ancient religions actually embody concepts that tell the story of the stars above, and that both paintings embody concepts which are manifested in nature. We have a video made by Angela Nalder where she decodes Da Vinci's zodiacal masterpiece. It's worth checking out Da Vinci's cosmic knowledge, although we will touch on some of these concepts here. First, let's take a closer look at the Feast of the Gods painting. Unlike the Last Supper painting, the Olympic feast appears to incorporate elements of the deity Dionysus, known as Bacchus to the Romans. This suggests a more direct replication of the Feast of the Gods during the Olympic opening ceremony. While the Last Supper features bread and wine, the symbolism of wine aligns with Dionysus, the god of wine, strengthening the connection between the two events. The connection between the Olympic feast and the Last Supper and the deity Dionysus is more symbolic than direct. Both paintings share underlying themes rooted in nature and cosmic cycles. For those with deeper esoteric knowledge, the connection becomes apparent. Wine, a product of grapes harvested in the fall, when the sun aligns with the zodiacal sign Libra, representing balance, the wife, partnership, and the equinox. Libra is often associated with the fall from paradise, a narrative linked to Eve and the Garden of Eden. As the scales tip towards winter, it symbolizes the shift from lush paradise to the more harsh seasons of this world where everything turns red like wine, then later dies. Both paintings subtly allude to these deeper cosmic and mythological layers, inviting viewers to explore their esoteric meanings. Dionysus accentuates the celebratory aspect of Libra, while the Last Supper foreshadows the impending fall. The latter serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of excess, particularly in relation to wine, and yet it also symbolizes the joyous union represented by Libra, the finding of one's other half. Delving deeper into the Feast of the Gods, we find another striking parallel. The central figure, like the Last Supper, a solar deity takes center stage. In the Feast of the Gods, it's Apollo, while the Last Supper features Jesus as the embodiment of the divine light. Interestingly, the Olympic opening ceremony also incorporated a similar motif, with a woman adorned in a solar disk behind her. This consistent presence of a solar archetype across these three iconic works creates a compelling connection. It's essential to note that the Feast of the Gods, featuring a gathering of Olympian deities, when viewed through the lens of Roman mythology, the cosmic connection becomes even more apparent, as many of these deities share names with planets. We've identified several of these celestial figures within the painting. On the left, we have Minerva, then Diana, followed by the armored war deity Mars. On Mars' right hand, we have Venus. Near Venus, we have Cupid and Flora. As mentioned before, in front, we have the god Bacchus, also known as Dionysus. Once again, Apollo, the sun deity, at the center stage. The warrior with the club is likely Hercules, and the one wielding the trident is known as Neptune, yet more commonly known by the Greeks as Poseidon. and at the far right, that's likely the mischievous god Eris. Unlike the Feast of the Gods, which features a broader array of celestial figures, the Last Supper presents a more focused narrative aligned with the zodiac. The painting meticulously places the disciples along the sun's path, with each figure representing a specific constellation. Starting from the left, we have Aries representing the head of the zodiac positioned at the head of the table, Taurus following Aries, Gemini identified by outreached arms symbolizing the arms of the zodiac, Cancer noticeable by his hands replicating the pincers representing the crab, Leo leaning on the table emphasizing the heart of the zodiac associated with the lion's heart, Virgo, the sixth disciple, identified by Cancer's gesture towards the missing Adam's apple, signifying a woman. Jesus positioned in the center as the Son of God. Libra on the opposite side of Jesus, holding out arms like the scales of balance. Scorpio pointing a finger reminiscent of the scorpion's stinger. Sagittarius leaning towards Jesus, representing the last warmth before winter. Capricorn, the third from the end, possibly portraying a complaining demeanor associated with the goat. Aquarius, connected to the final disciple, Pisces. Pisces holding hands out, mirroring the two fish of Pisces. Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper is undeniably a more complex and intricately detailed masterpiece than the Feast of the Gods. Given their shared geographical origins, it's plausible to speculate that the latter may have borrowed certain conceptual elements from the former. Therefore, while the claim that the Olympic ceremony replicated the Feast of the Gods might be more directly accurate, it doesn't entirely dismiss the Christian interpretation of it as an imitation of the Last Supper. Both perspectives offer valid points of view. There's a deeper cosmic layer to consider. Central to these feasts is the Libra constellation, a symbol associated with marriage and wine. The Christian view of marriage is no secret, as their holy book describes the union of Adam and Eve, male and female, as being the true image of God. The Olympic ceremony can be viewed as a ritualistic enactment of the Libra symbolism, albeit expressed through a different archetypal lens than traditional marriage imagery. Then we have to consider that the Olympic ceremony enacted a ritual which expressed the elements of the Libra constellation, the symbol of marriage. Most aren't familiar with how ritual witchcraft is done. These practices harness the power of creation, especially celestial bodies, to achieve specific goals. The Olympic ceremony aligns with the concept of enacting symbolism of the stars above, demonstrating a connection to the magical arts and their foundation in astrology. The incorporation of the LGBTQ+ elements into a ceremony traditionally symbolizing marriage suggests an intentional effort to influence societal perceptions. Our goal is to bring people's awareness to these public rituals, which are designed to influence people's minds. Our hope is that you can be more conscious of the symbolism which surrounds us.